extensive experience and knowledge in regional development with expertise in strategic and infrastructure planning, economic impact assessment, project feasibility, property and land use strategy. He commenced with the Hunter Business Chamber as CEO in early 2017. As CEO, Bob is responsible for driving the Chamber's strategy and program of thought leadership, policy development, advocacy, and executing delivery of events and member development programs. While Bob was born and raised in Sydney, he moved to the Hunter in the 1980s and is now a proud Novocastrian. He's a graduate of the Australian Institute of Company Directors and is the current chair of the Salvation Army Hunter Red Shield Appeal. Welcome, Bob. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Holly. Glad to be here.
To begin with, what do you think makes a good leader?
Well, I think there's a number of factors that contribute to that. Firstly, someone who's got a vision and one that they believe in and one that they can follow and one that has clarity enough for those around them to be able to follow. Secondly, I think that being part of the team, the inclusion part of the leadership equation is very important. Not only from a point of view of making sure that they're respectful to the people around them, but they build respect of the people around them as well. And probably thirdly is in and around the delivery, being able to walk the talk and being part of that program of getting on with the job and not just being the figurehead, as it were, that just sits back and says things. So combination of those factors, I think.
And following on from that, what do you think has shaped your leadership style?
That's a good question in terms of my experience. I've been in the workforce for quite some time, but I think it is a combination of those experiences. It's not one thing that sort of says, here's a Bible on how to be a leader or how to lead or how to get what you want out of things, but what you pick up on your way along that journey. And I have a lot of respect for many people. And I, including world leaders like Gandhi and Winston Churchill and even Abe Lincoln in the roads, the paths that they've had, somewhat similar but somewhat different. But certainly picking up things on the journey, I think, has been important for me, and holding on to things that I think I can do realistically. There's not much use me pretending to be someone that I'm not. Or trying to do things that I see someone does very well but doesn't fit my personality or character. If you're not born an aggressive person, well, it's unlikely you're going to go and develop that realistically or have people believe in it. And the same thing with being someone that is charismatic. Some people clearly aren't charismatic. You have to find the curve that suits you and then build on that to make sure that you have a leadership style that's effective.
Bob, what motivates and drives you?
Well, I've been very lucky in my working career. I've always enjoyed my work. I can probably get on single figures the number of days that I thought I don't want to go to work today because it's going to be hard or boring or tough or whatever. And so certainly that part of it is, I believe, very important to me. Second thing, I like to keep busy. I'm not one to sit down and do nothing. And I've been very lucky in being able to, across business, across sport, across other interests, to be always having something to be occupied. My spouse doesn't help in that regard. She's someone who doesn't sit still either. There's always something organised, always something on. And I think that combines to the character and to that whole being of being about that part of your life. So that's what gets me going and keeps me going. I don't know, what will happen when I stop, but when I do, I'll take a big breath and maybe I'll answer that question differently in about 5 or 10 years' time.
What is one action or task you ensure you incorporate into your diary each week?
Well, I'd probably split that into two definitions. Firstly, a personal type approach, and secondly, the business one. The personal one is being able to relax, and I'm lucky that my relaxation can be done through, I like going cycling, so I can do it effectively through that at the moment. That hasn't always been the case. In other sports through the journey of my life it's been different, but I do get that relaxation, that switch off, but also get the exercise by doing that. Work-wise, I think it's effective to put gaps in your diary and keep them there and use them. Particularly in my position, I get an enormous amount of emails, and I'm not Robinson Crusoe there, I know that. We all do that. We have different ways of management. Some people have the one-touch system, and some people have the thing, well, I don't even open ones that I don't think I know they're from, and all that sort of thing. In my case, I try to traipse them all and get through them all, so it's effective to make sure I've got time in my diary to be able to address that each week.
And to finish today, what local business person do you find inspiring?
Well, I think I've been lucky enough to work with a range of business people, and I've taken pieces of leadership and inspiration from a number of them. Paul Gaub was my chairman at HTC for a while. I really appreciated Paul's direct approach and his steadfastness to achieving the objective. Likewise with David Evans for completely different reasons, former chair of Hunter Water. David was very thorough, made sure that everybody understood what the process was. And then about delivering and getting on with the job in a very complex environment, which you can have. I have a lot of respect for Carolyn McMillan, the former vice chair of the former chancellor, or vice chancellor of the University of Newcastle. That in that environment where you've got to bring a lot of people along for the journey, that was inspiring to me to get a job done, and we're seeing the results as a consequence.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time today.
No problem. Thanks for having me.